हेलो गुड इवनिंग एवरीवन। कैसे हैं आप लोग? सो वेलकम यू ऑल on this live expert talk session. This is episode 5, and today we are going to have one very young and energetic person as our expert who will guide us on the very unique uh, career you might have came across. सो बिफोर दैट, अगर आपको मेरी आवाज़ सुनाई दे रही है तो टाइप इन यस, हाई टाइप कीजिए, हेलो टाइप कीजिए। गुड इवनिंग एवरीवन, गुड इवनिंग पृथा, वेलकम। गुड इवनिंग कौशिक, वेलकम। सो टाइप इन हाय, अगर आपको मेरी आवाज़ सुनाई दे रही है तो टाइप कीजिए हाय। वेलकम यू ऑल वंस अगेन on this expert talk live. Our focus main mission of this expert talk live series is to give career guidance, to give different ideas by different experts who are expert in their particular field. So we will invite different career expert. Good evening Ronald, hi Ankur. So like our, if you are watching it on YouTube, our channel is Vipul the Wonderful. Like and subscribe our channel. If you are on Facebook, then follow us. If you are on LinkedIn, then follow us, like us, and spread this live session with as much uh, as possible. So let me invite today's speaker, Mr. Rohan Chaubey. Hello.
Yeah,
Yes, Rohan, welcome you. Welcome on this live show on Expert Talk series. Welcome, Rohan.
I'm thrilled to be. I'm thrilled to be here. Thank you so much for inviting me.
Yeah, first of all, thank you so much. Thank you, आपने अपना कीमती समय निकाला है. You have agreed to come on this live Expert Talk show. Well, thank you once again.
It's my honor as well, and I'm looking forward to the discussion and interaction we have here.
Yeah. So, yes, good evening, Pankaj. Hi, Ankur, Ronald, Pratha. So, members, if you can hear our voice, type in hi, follow our channel, and do share this with your friends and colleagues. Do share it on your network. So let me welcome Mr. Rohan once again. Let me give his brief introduction. Yeah, so Rohan Chaubey is a celebrated growth hacker, best-selling author, and publisher of Growth Hacking Book 1 and 2, co-founder of International Growth Hacking Day, which is celebrated on July 13th of every year. Uh, Audience IBM and Twitter partner product ranks Rohan as the most followed growth hacker. Rohan's growth strategies and SaaS products have helped notable organizations including UNESCO, Uber, Red Bull, Candere by Kalyan Jewelers, Freshworks, BBN Times, Upgrade, Sogo Survey, in, Interesting Engineering, InVideo, etc. And many SaaS startups from the NYC, DC, and Bay Area. He helps startups acquire their first 100 to 1 lakh users, customers, followers through conducting and done for you growth services. Rohan's work is featured in media outlets including Forbes, Entrepreneurs, HuffPost, The Next Web, Story, The Goodman Project, Yahoo, Indian television, newspapers, and billboards, and many more. He is the most watched World Camp speaker in India. He routinely empowers audience of employers, marketers, change makers through thought leaders and students at corporate offices, conferences, and universities through his keynote addresses and breakout sessions on startup growth hacking. Uh, Breakout sessions on startup growth hacking, SaaS sales, personal banking, personal branding, and marketing that garner top praise for attendees, and organizers. Welcome, Rohan. Welcome you on the board once again. And Rohan, please give me a brief intro about you. Please tell us something more about you, which I have not covered to start the session.
I think that's pretty much what it is. So essentially, if I have to say that in just one or two sentences, it would be that I am a best-selling author, and I also have been helping a lot of startups. So far, I worked with 128 startups, and I've been a growth advisor to them, growth consultant to them, and some of them have seen. So we also offer growth services. So some of them have also grown from 0 to 100, 0 to 100K, 0 to 10,000, or their first 1,000. That's what I specialize in helping early stage startups get their first 0 to 100,000 users or customers.
Wow, amazing, amazing. That's really amazing. So, Rohan, now we have got a few questions from the from our followers. We are doing campaign, on social media about this live sessions every Friday 5 p.m. So we are getting queries from our viewers. So now we will cover one by one, and you can add on your points into that queries also. And live audience can also ask their questions. We will also cover them during the live session. So audience, you can also type in your questions. You can We will cover them right away. So the first question is, Rohan, what is growth hack? Very basic and very right question for this session.
Yeah, I've been, asked the same wherever I go, and it is important to understand what growth hacking really means, especially when you introduce yourself as a growth hacker. Of course, not everyone is really aware of the term, and because the word includes hacking and hacker in it, there are also chances that people might think it is. I mean, hacking by default has a bad connotation, a negative connotation. So with growth hacking, what I really mean is the um, culture of experimenting new marketing experiments for your startup, and driving that iteratively, and um, trying to find novel and unconventional and underexploited channels and strategies on those channels to essentially grow your business or startup. How you do that is by running these experiments, and then trying to check through the data what's working, what's not working, trying to improve what's not working, and then pivoting to different kind of strategies. So it's more of like an experimental approach towards marketing, and through these experiments you realize eventually that what are the best channels for your startups, and what are the specific strategies you could run on these specific channels that are having a channel market fit for your company. So yeah, with growth hacking, it just working in marketing, but also having involvement of product marketing and technology together, in alignment, is what makes it growth hacking.
Yeah, actually, when we met first time before almost 2 years back, when I heard this for the first time, the same thing came into my mind. Ki, what is this growth hacking? As you said, कि hacking is actually word थोड़ा सा ऐसा है कि लोगों को लगता है कि what it is actually. So very rightly explained.
Right.
Yeah. So next question is, what is the difference between growth hacking and digital marketing? Commonly people follow digital marketing and social media marketing and SEO and all this. So what is the difference? Why growth hacking is different than the digital marketing or SEO or social media marketing?
So what happens is, when we talk about growth hacking, what we really mean is that you're operating at the intersection of product marketing and technology. So when we talk about marketing, it's really just the inbound and outbound marketing. When we talk about the product, it's the involvement of product-led growth. So when we talk about product-led growth, it's more of, let's say, think of uh, an app like Google Pay. So when you use Google Pay, they ask you to invite your friends on the app, and then if you end up inviting your friend and he accepts your invite, then they ask there is a referral fee, not fee, a money that they send to your friend and you, which essentially is anyways going to be the cost for acquiring users for them. So they thought, okay, why not do it as a referral engine using our existing products and use having them invite their friends on the app. So in a way, they made a change in the product to have more users onboarded, and that's what product-led growth means. That you are essentially using your own product to have more users on it. So yeah, it's not just marketing. So marketing is when you are communicating the message and value proposition to the audience that you have. But with product, you are essentially making changes in the product so that your existing users can invite more users on the platform. Now the third one is technology. So what I mean by that is sometimes you use um, certain APIs of platforms, or you would use some, technological tools to achieve certain running certain experiments. To give you an example here, just like how you would schedule post for social media using third party tools, how you would run this live session using a third party tool, not really from LinkedIn, but it allows you, because of the integration, it gives you ability to live stream this not only just on LinkedIn, but also maybe your Facebook channel, your YouTube page, uh, sorry, your Facebook page and YouTube channel. So something similar happens when we are running these growth experiments. We are using a lot of different tools that help us, maybe find data for audience, or run email campaigns, or find some novel script or software which is, custom built for any organizations. Or you may have heard that organizations also have some of their in-house tools which they build to improve their operations and scale their marketing. So what is essentially happening is you're using these tech tools and APIs and scripts uh, to essentially move ahead of having to do manual labor work, and that's what allows you to scale your marketing efforts. So yeah, it's a combination, or rather an intersection of product marketing and technology working in complete alignment, and that's why that's the major difference between digital marketing and growth hacking. Another major one would be that mostly in digital marketing, they work on the top of the funnel, wherein just to give an example of what a funnel would look like. So think of it as when you search for Facebook and you newly discovered Facebook, you would first create a account with Facebook, and then this is called the acquisition stage. The second activation, when you create your or set up your profile on Facebook and fill your details, upload your bio, pictures, everything, and then you start adding friends to your profile. So that's activation. The third is the retention, wherein you're joining or logging in on Facebook every day to find what are your friends doing on the platform, to maybe upload your own pictures and posts. So that's retention. You're going on the platform every day, or maybe at least periodically, and you're connected to the people you are having them on the who are on the platform, which you have them as friends. The third is the revenue or referral. So earlier in the days, or even now, when you sync your mobile with Facebook, it shows you an option to invite your friends on any app, whether it be Facebook or WhatsApp, Instagram. They sync it with your mobile phone and contacts, and have an option for you to invite your friends. So that's called referral. And lastly, you have revenue. So revenue on Facebook, let's say, it could be in either of two ways. One, you are a business and you are running ads, so that Facebook benefits from your advertising. The second would be that you're a regular user, you click on the ads that they are showing you, and maybe sometime make a purchase, or essentially, at least as far as you're seeing the ads, you are helping the platform benefit out of you being a user. So this entire journey is called full funnel marketing, and there are various strategies that these companies employ while trying to take their users from the entire funnel. So when we call ourselves growth hacker, our goal is to take the user from top of the funnel to the bottom of the funnel, that is from acquiring them to retaining and then getting them to the referral stage and revenue. However, most of the digital marketers operate at the top of the funnel, that is the acquisition stage, which is just acquiring users. And that's the major difference between digital marketing and growth hacking.
Wow, very well explained, a very in detail explanation. So, as we said, we will cover the live questions asked by the live audience. So, here is the first question from Prutha Bhausar. She is asking that what is the way to be real growth hacker? How anyone can be a growth hacker? How he can differentiate himself or herself from being a digital marketer or an SEO expert?
Right. That's a good question. I would say recommend a few ways. First, um, try to learn as much as possible about growth hacking. There are so many web resources that you could Google and find. um, Watch YouTube videos, listen to podcasts from other growth hackers. I run a community on Reddit called the Growth Hackers subreddit. You could search that and join the subreddit to know everything that we share about growth hacking. Read books. I've written two books myself: the Growth Hacking Book Part 1, the Growth Hacking Book Part 2. um, Other than books, there are blogs as well. So the first step is to just read, listen, and watch as much as possible about growth hacking. The second is try to work with people who have been there and done that. That means that if you find growth hackers in your network or anywhere, try to work with them and see what are their internal frameworks, how do they operate, what does growth hacking mean to them, what kind of growth experiments do they run, what companies they work with, what strategies they adopt for these companies growth with whoever you're working, so you can learn from their experiences. The third one being, just be or just keep yourself updated with everything latest in marketing and technology and product. Look for how other products are working on their growth. What are they doing to grow their products? Let's say something like recently there is so much buzz around audio platforms such as Clubhouse. And if you really study Clubhouse, what we see is that they created some scarcity with the invites on the platform, and that kind of created a buzz because people wanted invites to be on the platform. And while they were looking for invites and tweeting about it, Clubhouse would start to trend. So essentially, what Clubhouse did is they tried to make the platform look exclusive, even though it was not. And because of that invite referral mechanism, in a short period of time, they could really create a lot of hype. So when you study these tech products, you start to understand that there are specific patterns these tech companies use to get you to bring on your own network on the platform, which is essentially the creating the network effect on the product, I mean on the platform. Just like Facebook is not relevant for you unless you have your friends and family on it. Similarly, many other platforms operate the same way. Twitter is more of for the celebrities, politicians, public figures. Those are the kind of figures that influence on Twitter, and they have a following, and that's why users get retained. So you have to uncover these patterns by studying other companies, studying other tech products and what they do. So that's number 3. Number 4 is just being updated with what's the latest in marketing, what are the changes that are happening on the platform. Something that was working, let's say, this year may not work the next year, or maybe something that was working last year may not work this year. So you may want to always change your approach with what you are doing. Just to give you an example, think of it like Instagram. A few years ago on Instagram, you could actually message a lot of your followers and even the people you're not connected to. And now the direct messaging limit has been variable depending on the age of your account and what has been your history with the account. So as the platforms start to saturate and grow, eventually there are going to be lots of restrictions. LinkedIn is another example. A year back, or 2 years back, or 3 years back, a lot of people were having really high views on their posts, and eventually what is happening is because now there are so many people joining and everyone posting content, uh, the reach overall is decreasing, and we will continue to see a similar pattern in the coming years. LinkedIn now is where Facebook was maybe 5 or 10 years ago, when you had Facebook pages and profiles with actual good reach. Now what has happened with Facebook pages is it has become more of a pay to play um, product, where if you want the reach from your Facebook page, you have to pay Facebook for advertising just to be seen either to the likers of the page or beyond that with whatever targeting options you're choosing. So this is what I mean by keeping updated with all the channels, what works on those channels, and really trying to find micro details of how you could leverage those channels to get the users, get the followers, get the customers out of them. Now, and the final would be that come up with your own growth experiments. So design things that design growth experiments that you think are novel. By novel, I mean original. That's something that people may have not thought of before, or something that's not over exploited yet, something that's not saturated yet, or perhaps unconventional in a way that no one would have thought of doing it before. To give you an example of this, lately I started to use Reddit, and on Reddit I discovered Reddit APIs that allows us to connect with people on scale with the private messaging, and essentially also scheduling posts. So all of the other social media, I always heard that you could schedule posts. For Reddit, I never saw like the conventional or popular social media scheduling platforms to really let us schedule posts. But then when I digged into the Reddit API, I found that we could also schedule post on Reddit and simultaneously promote our updates or publish our updates under multiple subreddits. That's something you have to really get into the platform and explore what are the tools that I can use or leverage. And if there are not existing tools, you try to create your own tools so that you're able to do things that probably your competitors won't be able to do. And that's the reason so many of the companies or startups that I work with end up making their own internal in-house tools so that they have an upper hand against their competitors. So yeah, I think these five tips should help. Other than that, the last one would be just finding various distribution channels. By distribution channels, what I mean is that keeping the example of startups aside, let's take example of a YouTube channel. If you want to promote a YouTube channel, it's not that you just create content on YouTube and you will suddenly start to have subscribers. You start to also share it on your WhatsApp with your friends and family on WhatsApp, or your peers or other creators on YouTube, either on Facebook groups and many other channels. So it's not that just to same could be the same example could be applied for startups. So to acquire the users and customers, you don't have to rely on one specific channel. You have to keep experimenting and finding new audiences for your product, or just as you would find the new audiences for your YouTube channel. And then you would see some conversion happening if there is an alignment between your target audience and the audience on that platform. So yeah, essentially it's all about finding these distribution channels. If someone is curious about what could be the possible examples of distribution channels, what I could do is, on my Twitter, there is a pin tweet with a list of 110 different distribution channels. Once this live session is done, I'll drop the link in the comments of this video, so that you can access it and discover. So it's essentially like a list that I've created of 100 different ways you can promote your content or your company or your product, and you can use those channels to reach to your audiences if there is a channel market fit there. I hope that answers your question.
Yeah, very, very well said and well covered. Almost you have covered everything about how digital marketer can become a growth hacker and how to learn growth hacking. You have covered uh, in very much detail. Now the next question we have got is, before that, let me acknowledge Shaunak. He's appreciating our efforts. Amazing explanation. Thank you, Shaunak. One more
I think
question
we
from,
were introduced to each other because of him,
yeah,
and the group
Shaunak.
that we have.
Shaunak, credit goes to Shaunak. In fact, I have thanked him when we scheduled our session. That thank you, because of you, this session is happening. So he is the link between you and me. So thank you, Shaunak, for that once again. And one question by our live audience is Arpit Gautam. Any good newsletter suggestion from your side?
There are multiple, I mean, so many marketers having their newsletters, and newsletters are, I mean, they were always popular, but now they are again, in the hype. Some of the newsletters that I personally follow, I think I remember three of them. One is that comes from AppSumo. It's all about different lifetime deals and the products, the latest ones that they have on their AppSumo store. The second is, it's, I think it's called Good Marketing Examples or Marketing Examples. It's from a blogger called Harry. The third one is from another good person in growth hacking. It's called, I'm forgetting his last name, but his first name is Julian, and the newsletter is from Demand Curve, his company. So yeah, these are the three good newsletters that I personally follow. Apart from this, if you're looking for newsletter style content, I have a subreddit on Reddit called Growth Hacking, which is one of the world's, not one of the largest growth hacking subreddit on the internet. You could join that, and there is similar content there as well.
So, if you don't mind, then you can add this newsletter links or newsletter
Sure, I'll
reference
do that.
along with that 100 list, and put it in the comment after this
Sure.
session. Prutha is happy with your answer. She is thanking you. Uh, good explanation. Now, one comment by a live audience, Mr. Ravi Shankar, that yes, agree about Clubhouse. I installed the app, but they started acting funny, so I uninstalled it. So, as you said, it has created a buzz in the market by the growth hacking strategy, but actually the content and the product matters at the end. So, next question by our audience is, uh, what is job of growth hacker?
Yeah, so a job of a growth hacker is it's a cross. So I'll try to start by saying not just the growth hackers, but the growth team. So growth teams are essentially cross functional. What I mean by cross functional is that in a growth team you are not the only person to do all the work. You would have the design team, you would have the engineering team, and then you would have the marketing team to collaborate and work together to run and execute these growth experiments in any startup you work with. So essentially, the job of a growth team is to design new experiments, run new experiments, and then work together to finding the results and then moving on to the next experiment. The reason we say that it's a cross-functional team is because everyone has their own skill sets, and there is a concept in my book. I call it growth set. So growth set equals skill set, mindset, and tool set. And this is the advice that I've been giving to all the founders that I worked with. Whenever you're hiring for a growth team, you would want to have people with not overlapping skill sets, but you would want people with the overlapping mindset, and then the expertise would extend to the tool set that they have. Just to put it in a simpler way, what I mean is that you do not want all the um, only the marketing team to take ownership of the startup growth. You essentially want the marketing team to come up with marketing experiments. You want the product team to come up with product experiments. You want the design team to come up with design experiments. Just to give you an example, like we were discussing about, let's say, Google Pay. Google Pay has this referral mechanism where you have to invite your friends in order to earn some, I guess, 40-60 rupees, which I do not know if that's the correct figures, but there is some monetary reward if you invite a friend and he joins the Google Pay app. So someone from the product team or engineering team must have think of this, and they must have implemented this, right? You can't expect a marketer to come up with a growth experiment related to the product. Of course, they might end up coming up with the ideas for product led growth, but essentially you don't want to devoid the engineering or a product team from coming up with growth experiments on the product level. So everyone on the product team is essentially having non-overlapping skills, and they all are responsible for the overall growth, and they have to individually think of the new ideas and experiments to add to their backlog. So yeah, when you are a growth hacker, now coming to what are the actual stuff you will have to do day to day. Most part of it is just how these companies that I've been working with have been operating, is that we add additional, let's say, 3 to 5 different experiments every week or every month, and then we run these experiments on a daily day-to-day basis, and we try to play with the data, attribute the success to specific channels and strategies, and then analyze what's working, what's not working. So it's all about ideating what experiments you could work, essentially hypothesizing what could be a possible way to increase the revenue, bring in the followers, or convert the existing users to customers, or retaining the current customers for as long as possible. Uh, so all this is a part of the ideation process, the of growth experiments. The second one is to actually running it, and the third is if you find a growth experiment to be successful, you have to systemize it and or perhaps find a way to automate it so it keeps perpetually running. By systemizing, what I mean is that so sometimes you would be able to automate things so that it could free up your time and you could focus on some other aspects of your business. But for things that are not that you cannot automate, you create a standard operating system around it, which is called SOP. So you create these standard operating systems for these internal growth experiments and processes that you run, and they end up being followed by your executives. So yeah, your major job as a growth hacker is just to come up with novel ideas for growth, executing them, double down on whatever is working, and once you have truly found what's working for the company, you try to systemize or automate it and ship it to your executives to continue working on that. So yeah, this is what it is. I hope that answers the question.
Yeah, yeah, very well covered. So Ravi Shankar is appreciating, he is enjoying your inputs and thanking you. So the next question is what what is a growth hacking funnel? How it works?
Right. So we call the growth hacking funnel has double A, triple R, and that's what something that I was explaining with the Facebook website, with the example of Facebook website. So just to tell you what double A, triple R stands for. Double A stands for acquire. The second A stands for activation, which is activate. The next three R stands for first retention, second referral, and then third revenue. Referral and revenue can switch places. So a referral could happen before the revenue stage, and revenue could happen after the referral stage. So it's interchangeable. Um, to explain the funnel with an example, let's go back to the Facebook funnel that we were talking about. So think of it this way: when you search and discover Facebook for the first time, you would land on their website, you create your account with Facebook, and then so when you create an account with Facebook, so you're essentially transitioning from being a visitor to a user, and that's called the acquisition stage. Facebook has officially acquired you as a user on the platform. The next stage is activation. Activation happens when you create your account, you put your bio, you put your profile pictures, you start adding your friends and family to your Facebook account, you start interacting, you start posting on your profile pictures, post updates, etc. So that's activation. You have started to use and find the value proposition of the platform. The third is retention. In retention, what happens is you are coming back to the platform and using it regularly. So in the example of Facebook, it's more of just logging into the Facebook app or account and checking the updates of your friends and families and colleagues and peers, or you are posting your own updates and sharing in groups and pages and profiles. That's retention. You are retained because either they're sending you notifications, they're sending you emails about your friends, sending you a message, new updates, post, news feeds, etc. Next is referral. Like I was explaining, these products have ability to sync with your phone and email, and then have your network being joining have your network joining the platform. So essentially you could give your access to the contact list to these platforms, and then it sends an invite. Now, because everyone is already on the Facebook, you may not see popular usage of the referral mechanism. But in the early days, when not a lot of people, just like how it's happening with Clubhouse right now, people looking for invites, and people are logging through, I mean, getting on the platform through the invites they're getting from each other. That's essentially what referral mechanism is. Another one is after referral, it's revenue. Revenue for Facebook, of course, revenue model for each platform would look differently. But for Facebook, it's more of two things. One, has a business, if you're running ads, Facebook, of course, will charge you for the reach that you get on your page. And as a user, if you're seeing ads, that probably means that Facebook has successfully monetized your profile. I mean, they're benefiting out of you. Similar model is followed by YouTube, where they show ads whether or not you're on the monetization option with YouTube. So every platform has their own ways of monetization, but yeah, the monetization and revenue stage do come. No platform is really free forever. So yeah, the entire this funnel, double A triple R, is called the growth hacking funnel. There are other ways to it, and there are other funnel frameworks, but this is most popularly used. Just to recap, A stands for acquiring users, that is acquisition stage. The next A stands for activation. R stands for retention. Next R stands for referral, and the last one stands for revenue. So double A triple R is the funnel name.
Wow, well explained. So now coming to the very interesting part, even I would like to know more about it. So, story behind the growth hacking book, part one and two. I would like to know more about this.
Sure. So growth hacking is a term that was coined by Sean Ellis in the Silicon Valley. It's a popular concept among the tech products. I wanted to popularize it and not just keep it limited to, of course, the world knows about growth hacking, but it's not that every corner of the world is aware. So I wanted to personally be an evangelist for the framework because it has worked for me. It has worked for all the clients that I worked with. I've personally benefited out of it in my career, and I wanted others and other startups to know about it and follow the same. Um, so yeah, I found the concept interesting, and I wanted to be an evangelist. So I thought, okay, why not? Now that I feel confident working 3 years in the growth hacking space, why not write a book? And that's when I started writing my first book in 2019. It is essentially an anthology, and I collaborated with my contributors and co-authors from 9 countries. So in the first part, we were about 35 people from 9 countries. I was the publisher, and I have another partner who was the publisher of the book. We together, invited people from 9 countries. The first book, the Growth Hacking Book One, had about 35 people. In the second one, next year, that is, the first one was launched in 2019. We had a massive launch event. There was media in the launch. We announced July 13th as the International Growth Hacking Day because every country was doing their own growth hacking days. And because we invited people from 9 countries, we thought, okay, this could be an International Growth Hacking Day. And it was endorsed by Mr. Amitabh Kant, who is the CEO and director of Niti Aayog Government of India. So we felt more confident that, okay, this is even, supported and endorsed by so many good people and even authorities from the government of India. Another one was in the next year, we thought, okay, let's do a second part of the book, and this time we will involve more people on it. So this time we got 100 people from 20 countries, and it ended up making a world record of a business book with maximum number of nationalities. So Golden Book of Record officially recognized it has a world record, and we published the Growth Hacking Book too. We also had a Twitter trend. So for the first time, there was a digital marketing and growth hacking book, making it to the nationwide Twitter trend. Another good achievement was that there was a time in August sometime for 23 hours we were nationwide bestsellers on Amazon India, ranking number one. and we have been bestsellers in multiple countries. So I mean, the book essentially is international bestselling so far. So this has been the story behind the growth hacking book. I'm grateful for all our readers and supporters that make this book happen, and of course, it wouldn't be possible without the community support that I've been receiving. You have been actively involved in one of my communities for YouTubers. So, of course, I do appreciate with all your support. And in fact, I was very delighted when you shared with me about your live sessions. I had watched it previously with a couple of guests that you were doing. It has been amazing so far. I wish you continued success.
Thank you so much, and thank you. Because of you, we have learned so many things, and we feel privileged to be part of your any of your community. So, thank you so much. Now, Ravi Shankar has. So now this is the last call. We will be covering last two questions from the audience. So, if anyone has any question, then they can ask it. One of the last question by Ravi Shankar is, for double A triple R, should we have a business account in FB, or can be done through personal account as well?
Yeah, I think my explanation was misunderstood. So I was actually taking example of Facebook to explain you the double A triple R model, but I did not mean that it is applicable to running ads on Facebook. So think of it as any platform, right? So whether it be YouTube or Instagram, etc. What I really mean is that just forget about the Facebook example. Think of, let's say, Instagram now. So when you want to sign up to the Instagram, you would, be a visitor to the platform. Then you will create an account. Then you will start to update your profile and share updates and stories. That's called, activation. If you're consistently being on the platform every now and then through the app or the web, that's retention essentially. And then to monetize you, they'll, allow you to boost your post and run ads. That's revenue for the platform. Else, if you're a regular users, you will still be shown sponsored ads. So that's essentially Instagram monetizing your presence. A similar model is followed by any other platform. Just to quickly take example of YouTube, if you create an account on YouTube, if you're, creating a channel and posting content, even without posting content, if you're just watching content, liking, commenting, that's also an activation. That's also counted as activation. But let's say if you're a YouTube creator, you create content, and then your content is either monetized or you accept to run AdSense on your account. I mean, ads on your account and videos. That's again, monetization opportunity, not just for you, for the company itself. Think of, if you are not a YouTube creator but a regular person who just consumes YouTube videos, you are still shown ads before any video is played, or they show you the ads displayed on top of the searches. So all in all, what I'm trying to say is that every platform has this model which is called double A triple R model, which means A stands for acquiring users, they acquiring you as a user. Second is activation, you actively using your account, making actions on it. And third is being retained on the platform. The fourth being the platform monetizing your presence. And the last one being referral, where you are inviting your friends or family or peers or colleagues to be on that specific platform. So yeah, no matter what platform, the double A triple R framework remains the same. It's not just limited to the platforms like Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, YouTube. It also applies to your products the same way, just like it applies to these tech products, like the examples that we talked about.
Yes. Hello. Voice is not audible, Rohan.
Are we
Yeah.
connect? Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. Please
yeah. I
continue.
was saying, are we connected?
Yeah.
I'm done. I'm done explaining the double A triple R.
Great. So, thank you, Rohan. Now the last question of the day, like, do you suggest any particular course or any academic qualification required for this to become an expert growth hacker, or anyone can be it?
I think the problem with the courses is that everything eventually becomes. I'm not getting the right word. Okay, everything eventually becomes outdated, right? So let's say if you take a course in, let's say, YouTube marketing today, what would happen in future is that there would be changes on the platform. Things that used to work may not continue to work. There would be updates, and eventually, whatever the knowledge you acquire would become outdated. So the best way to learn growth hacking, like I've shared those 4 5 ways, was that keep yourself updated, reading all the blogs, podcasts, videos, books. The next one would be that work with people who are actually the practitioners, who are real growth hackers working with several different startups. The third is that you keep updated with all the news that comes in related to digital marketing and marketing in general. The fourth is being very knowledgeable about analytics attribution. So let's say if you're doing something, or even let's say a simple promotion of, let's say, this event, the live event that you do, if you're sharing on Facebook or any other social platform, you could use UTM links and see, is Facebook giving me more traffic, or WhatsApp giving me more traffic, or LinkedIn giving me more traffic, and then trying to make an evaluation that what platform is driving more traffic, and because of the analytics, you would be able to do that, right? So similarly, when we run these complex experiments for products, it is simple, not as simple as this, but I just used it as an example that this is exactly what we are doing. So when I'm trying to grow a specific startup using multiple channels, we are essentially testing different channels against each other and trying to see what works the best. So that's number four. Number five is that just, you know, coming up with different ideas and experiments. So you can learn things that are already done, but you cannot learn things that no one knows about. That's something that you have to think for yourself. So with growth hacking, your ultimate advantage is that doing things that other people have not done, so that you could be, at an advantage of knowing things that other people do not know. However, if you're learning from people who have already done things and maybe they're suggesting you things from the past, it's not really necessary that the things that used to work in the past would continue to work. Just like we were sharing example of something like Facebook pages that used to work extremely well before 2015 and until 2015. Now the reach has died completely. So you have to think of a more creative way to operate on search channels. That's why my recommendation would be to just follow all the public resources that are available on the internet. I think that's just enough for knowing the concepts and frameworks. And of course, books is something that I would recommend, because some of the information in the books are timeless. Not just my book, any other books in the growth hacking space would have these concepts and frameworks that we briefly talked about in this short live session. There will be more detailed explanation within the books. So yeah, I would recommend that the public knowledge and the free resources are the best way to go.
Well said. So the only solution is to keep learning new things, keep trying new things, and keep updating yourself. So you need to be
It's, I think, similar in every career, right? Be it
right.
yours or be it mine. These things are constant. You have to keep learning.
Keep updating. Well said. Well said. So thank you, Rohan, for this amazing knowledge sharing session. People would have loved it and they have appreciated live. So thank you once again. Keep the spirit up. Any last message you have for the audience? Any last
Yeah,
word?
there's one thing that I love recommending, and this is something that I personally follow as well. So there are three things. One is to learn from people who have been there and done that, the experts. The second is to collaborate with your peers, to work together with them. And the third is to teach people who are just starting out. So think of it like, if you're wanting to learn a specific skill, learn from the experts. If you're trying to get a hold of it, try to collaboratively work with the people in the same stage as you. And then once you feel that you have yourself become an expert, now you start sharing with your peers and the people who are just starting out, so you can help them. So yeah, I think this is the best way to not only learn yourself, but also teach other people in your industry.
So spreading knowledge, collaborating, and givers gain approach. Keep sharing your knowledge. It will increase
Absolutely.
eventually. Yeah. So thank you, Rohan. Keep coming. We would love to have you again on our live expert talk session. And thank you once again, Rohan.
Thank you,
Stay
thank
blessed.
you so much for
Keep in
having
touch.
me.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Yeah. Yeah. Yes, thank you everyone. Hope you have enjoyed. आपको मज़ा आया होगा. Every Friday 5 p.m. हम ऐसे ही आते रहेंगे. We will keep coming with different career experts to give you knowledge of their expertise. जैसे रोहन ने अभी बताया कि we will keep sharing the knowledge of experts in our network so that it will be helpful for you. You can use it and you can empower yourself, and keep inviting your friends, your colleagues, keep inviting in your network. Do follow our channel, do subscribe our YouTube channel, follow us on LinkedIn and Facebook, and keep coming every Friday 5 p.m. If you know anyone who is expert in his field, then you can recommend them to join us on any Friday. We would love to have them. We know there are of experts, and there are many of them eager to share their expertise with the ऑडियंस विद द पीपल. सो ऐसे ही लोगों को आप सजेस्ट भी कर सकते हैं, एंड आप खुद भी यहाँ पे आ सकते हैं एवरी फ्राइडे 5 p.m. थैंक यू फॉर ज्वाइनिंग टुडे. थैंक यू वंस अगेन. स्टे ब्लेस्ड. नेक्स्ट वीक हम आ रहे हैं एक ऐसे ही करियर एक्सपर्ट को लेके जिनका नाम है निखिल ठाकुर. सो he will be speaking on turning your hobby into profession as an artist. So he is by profession, he is an event manager, but during this corona pandemic he अपनी जो बचपन की एक हॉबी थी आर्टिस्ट की उसको जगाया, and now he is artist also. He is doing amazing work. He has got highlighted from Divya Bhaskar and many other newspapers. So he will come next week, Friday, 5 p.m., and he'll tell us what inspired him to make his career as an artist. So do join in next Friday, 5 p.m. Till then, stay blessed, take care of yourself and your family, and thank you once again.